Hi, everyone. It's me, Krillius, Team Racing Productions MC and producer. And with me today is the legendary, the iconic Racine Pendarvis.
Bam! Hi, everybody. Greetings and salutations.
Yes, and today we are joined by a very, very, very special guest. They have collaborated with Racine Pendarvis and Team Racing Productions on many, many projects. Welcome, DJ Heat.
Hello, thank y'all for having me. It's been a long time.
Been a
Yes, it
long time.
has.
Okay.
It's so great to have you here. It's so great to have you here. Yes, it has been a long time, but we are happy to be back together here on the Team Racing YouTube channel. So you've of course collaborated with Team Racing before, the Mayor's Annual Senior Symposium or 2019 Black History Month event, and of course the Ask Racing show. But you weren't able to join us for the 10th and final season of the Ask Racing show. But we thank you so much for being a frequent guest DJ in 2018 and 2019. Tell us, what have you been up to?
Oh man, what have I been up to? Just getting back into the swing of things since everything is quote unquote back open now, working in sports and sporting events. That's back to capacity at venues and games. And the biggest thing, recovering from the surgery that I had 2 months ago. So yeah, that's what's been going on, trying to living this new life.
Certainly. And I'm sure many of our viewers may not be aware, but could we talk a little bit about that, the surgery that you're recovering from? What led to it, and what does it all entail?
Sure. So 2 months ago, actually the day after Thanksgiving, the day after this past Thanksgiving, I had a hysterectomy. So hysterectomy, don't know, they remove your uterus and all them other good parts. And they also ended up removing my appendix as well. So what led to it is a number of issues that I was suffering with ever since I was, probably like 18 years old. I had fibroids. I had a condition called endometriosis. I also had cysts. And during this process before surgery, I also learned that I had an introverted uterus. That means my uterus was tilted. So a lot going on inside of that one body part. And for years, I dealt with a very, 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 very large amount of pain and a number of other issues associated with it, like fatigue, anemia, just so much. And things started getting worse for me in 2020, like during the pandemic. I'm like, okay, it was bad before, but everything I go through is getting worse. And it's really affecting the quality of my life, where I can't even plan anything from month to month because I'm like, I'm probably gonna be in so much pain around this time, which was the case for my last birthday. My birthday is in August. So my birthday just passed and I couldn't celebrate my birthday on my birthday weekend because I told my friends plan. I was like, it's not going to be a good idea for me to celebrate my birthday this weekend because I'm likely going to be in a lot of pain. So we ended up celebrating my birthday like about a week or two later. So, research with doctors, I just knew that I want to have a hysterectomy. Like, this uterus has to go.
Yeah.
That's what I was dealing with for years and years. Like I said, it was getting worse. I'm like, no way I can make it through life like this, especially with the work I do and my schedule. And, my schedule is getting, busier and busier as things are opening back up. I can't do this. So, went through all the different tests and everything. And my doctor asked the questions. He was like, do you want to have kids? I was like, no, I don't plan on having kids. He was like, all right, like, well, let's get rid of it. I was like, let's do it. And I'm happy. Like I said, it's been 2 months now and the best decision of my life.
Yeah, that's a great thing. I think having that surgery led a lot of questions surrounding the issues of, especially with women and Black especially in talking about issues surrounding talking about fibroid tumors and talking about the surgery and what kind of surgery and what should I do, and opposed to many women go through it. It is a process that many of women deal with. But when we talk about women issues surrounding women of color, it is something that it's just not talked about. It is like, oh girl, I don't want to talk about it. I'm a suffer in silence. But it led to WUSA 9 doing a TV segment around that. How was that for you? And how was the feedback coming out of that?
The feedback was great. So that segment was dealing about the fibroid side of things. So shout out to Delia, WSA 9. Shout out to the White Dress Project as well that helped contribute to the segment, and actually have met a lot of women and did an event for them. And so that led to more women telling me their stories of what they're going through, and especially Black women, because when it comes to fibroids, like 80% of Black women will go through 80%. 80% of Black women will go through dealing with fibroids. Like, I have a friend who just recently had 20 fibroids removed from her body. Wow. Amazing. 20. Actually, she's public with it. So I can say who it was because she put it in her IG story, because y'all know her as well, Carolyn Malachi.
Oh, yeah, she sure did. She sure did.
Yeah, so I can, since she's public with him, I'm going to say her name. So my good sister Carolyn, it was actually like a week after my surgery. She had 20 fibroids removed. So that WSA 9 segment was great. And then just today, I was on Fox 5 to talk about endometriosis. They did a story about that because, like I said, I had a number of issues going on. So I'm very vocal when it comes to speaking on fibroids, and I'm very vocal when it comes to speaking on endometriosis as well, because these are two things that I had going on at the same time that was contributing, like, along with having, like, I've had cysts removed a number of times. This hysterectomy, this was like the third surgery I've had, all related to what's going on.
And that's so, it's like I say, it's very important because so many women suffer once again in silence. People don't talk about issues surrounding, like, why am I in this pain? Why is this happening to me? Why is my period abnormal? Why is it? And then when we talk about periods and women's periods, and we don't talk about women discussing, why is my flow so heavy? Why is my flow extremely heavy to the point where it's causing issues surrounding anemia? And so, and sometimes to the point that women are passing out. And the pain is that bad that they're passing out and don't know why. Because sometimes they just feel like they're on this island all by themselves. And unfortunately, people are not talking about it. And then you talk about, look at the numbers. 80% of Black women, that's a very large number.
Yes, it is.
A very large number. And then unfortunately, people don't talk about it. And especially when we talk about generational issues surrounding all of those. Women who are at a certain age, 50 and over, they're from a generation where, girl, don't talk about this, girl, don't talk about this. Oh, girl, the curse. When we talk about when they, those who have that, that was called the curse around that time for those and those older. So to all the stigma surrounding those with women who, you can't be around certain people at this time. You don't want to be around this. You can't talk about this. You can't. But then I feel the good thing about now for those of your age and younger who are experiencing this, they're talking about it. And now it's waking everybody up. Now the older generation was like, well, I went through that, but I went through it all by myself. There was no
that's funny that you mentioned that, because my aunt, she's 80 years old. So as I'm telling my story and she's seeing me on these TV shows telling my story, and she's letting her friends know, her friends are sharing their stories. So here she is, she never knew. Again, she's 80. And she has her friends are saying, yeah, I know. And she had no clue until I started sharing my story, and more women, and you start to see it on TV more.
That shows just how important it is to be able to speak about these things, to share your stories, because of the impact it can have on those who are listening. And one of the things you touched on is the White Dress Project. And so for any of the viewers who don't really know what that is, could you touch on the White Dress Project and tell us about it?
Yes, they're a group of amazing women, amazing Black women as well, that help, other Black women when it comes to dealing with fibroids. So I think I've always been very vocal about
Mhm.
everything I'm going through. I think I like since 2013, that's where I first learned about, me having endometriosis and how the fibroids are getting and whatnot. So I've always spoken out about my journey, and you know how the power of social media, people reshare and they reach out, and they're a group that reached out to me, and I've always been very, very supportive about everything throughout this whole ordeal, and checking on me and whatnot. So that they're
That
very
is
great.
so great. That is
Mhm.
so amazing. That's so amazing. And I hope some of our viewers, if they need that type of support, if they want to learn more, they can go ahead and check out the White Dress Project. One thing that's been really, really great for you though is your success on TikTok. Your success on TikTok. What has that been like for you, getting into TikTok game?
It's still mind-blowing. So it just started, I think when we first joined TikTok, we just trying to figure it out, and we're doing whatever. Then you try something and then boom, it just pops. And I wasn't expecting me, when it comes to playing the original version of the song, then playing the go-go version of the song. I never expected it to blow up like it did. And it's funny, I get recognized more from TikTok. Like the TikToks is exposing me to way more people who didn't even know who DJ Heat was. They'd be like, "Hey, you make the TikToks, don't you?" And to see other, of the blogs, the Instagram blogs reposted, and that brings in more. Like the most recent one that I posted last week, I ended up gaining like 2,000 followers, like on Instagram. Of course, like my TikTok growth, but it's something about seeing them Instagram notifications too, because the different websites, the different IG blogs are resharing it. And I was like, wow. And like I said, it's just a whole new audience that didn't even know who I was. Like sometimes I read the comments and I'm like, man, y'all really don't know who I am. I just think I'm doing these TikToks because somebody said, oh, she's corny. And I've seen other TikToks say, oh, she's not really from DC. I'm like this is what comes with it, huh? This is
yes,
haters come with TikTok.
It's just part of the territory. But I entertain them. Like I say stuff back, but I know that just people in comments are gonna be who they are. My focus is not that. My focus is on the people that are genuinely entertained and love what I do. Because something about me, it makes me happy to make other people happy. Yes. So if the people are happy from what they're saying, I'm not going to worry about if I'm getting 1,000 comments that are enjoying themselves. I can't worry about the 2 or 3 that want to say something crazy.
The trolls. You always got the trolls. You always got the TikTok trolls, the Triller trolls, the Facebook trolls, the Instagram trolls. It's just some people who like to put things in comments. Like I've noticed you can put something really uplifting on social media and someone will come behind it and put something negative, but they want you to feed out and they want you to reply to that. But the good thing about that, the wonderful thing, that block, report, and that's exactly what I do. And I don't argue with them. I don't argue with the trolls. Block and report.
Yes. And I'm noticing something because you are a big music lover. I love all those the posters behind.
Oh yeah, these are actual records from my collection.
Those are the actual records. I see. Okay.
We got real records still.
Okay. Yes. Wow. Born Up. I used to love that song by Khalees.
Love her.
Yes, that is wonderful. That is wonderful. Well, DJ Heat, talk to me about things that are upcoming, playing at the stage, like all of that. Talk the whole DJ. How's that going?
Everything's going great. Like I said, since things are opening back up, with sport events, of course, Wizard season is still going on. We have Mystic season that's kicking off in May. Big things I have coming up. Oh, so DC, we have the Cherry Blossom Festival is about to start. I'm the official DJ for the opening ceremony of the Cherry Blossom Festival. So yes, the opening ceremony of the Cherry Blossom Festival. I don't want to get, is it at Warner Theater? I believe. I don't want to get the theaters mixed up. If I said it wrong, make sure I go to Cherry Blossom Festival online to find out, make sure I'm correct. But that's the big thing right there. Of course, still doing shows with Carolyn. We had a show recently at the Kennedy Center. Still doing shows with Maya. Maya has a show coming to DC on March 13th, I believe, at the MGM National Harbor. So it's going to be Maya, SWV, and Faith Evans. So that should be a great show right there.
Awesome. Well, we've collaborated before, Team Racine and DJ Heat. And so, of course, we look forward to much more collaborations in the future. We can't wait to do that. How can people follow you and keep up with what you're doing?
Listen, I make all of my social media very, very simple. At DJ Heat DC on everything, on TikTok, on Twitter, on Instagram. Yes, all that lovely stuff that's on the graphic right there. And my official website is djheatdc.com. If you want to get at me for bookings, I have a very nice contact booking page up on my website that goes straight to my email, and I check it daily.
Yes, and to our viewers who are watching, the links for that will be in the description below, so you can go ahead and follow and learn more about DJ Heat and, get your life with everything DJ Heat has to give, and follow that TikTok.
Yes, let's go.
Of course. DJ Heat, it is always a pleasure to see you. It's always a pleasure to be with you. And I'm so glad that we got to do this today and got to catch up. And we wish you so much love, luck, and success in your recovery.
Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. Love y'all. Can't wait till I can be with y'all in person again and give y'all big giant hugs.
Thank you so much. To everyone that's watching, we want to remind you that you can follow me at It's Krillius on Twitter and Instagram. For all things Racine Pendarvis, you can go to racine.com. And for all things Team Racine Productions, you can follow at Team Racine. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all. Thank you, DJ Heat, for being here. And most of all, thank you for watching. Bye, everyone.